All right. Review time again. Book with a great book with a troubling title. I'm hoping YouTube doesn't beat me up over this one. It's the name of the title: Little Pussy and Long Branch, Perfect Together. It's a nonfiction book. It is long. It is long and it's thick. It is the rich, colorful, and deadly history of a Jersey Shore mob town, Long Branch, New Jersey. I grew up in Belford, New Jersey, Middletown Township. A lot of Middletown in this, a lot of Monmouth County in this. And in fact, my book, my fiction horror trilogy, Chelsea Avenue, is is set in Long Branch. In fact, it's set in starts in 1987 when the haunted house burned down, and that's kind of where we started. That's mentioned in here. Uh, the windmill, Max's, the pier, Brighton Bar, all the places I used to go and hang out in the 80s and 90s. So it's pretty freaking cool. Uh, Gregory Macolino, the author, lived it. He was in town. He's got a ton of connections with the mobsters that were Newark. By the way, I'm born in Newark, so there's another tie for me. And so it's Little Pussy Russo. He ran for the mob. He ran Long Branch for many years. It's his. It's really his story, and it's the good, the bad. I mean, all the ties and everything else. So, I wish my father was still alive because he would probably be able to tell me a couple of stories. I mean, who knows if they would be true or not? I mean, Jersey Italians, from Newark, we tend to make up stuff. You got to tell a good story. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. But I'm sure he would have some ties to some of this. I remember as a kid going down to the arcade. I remember going, "Hey, let's go get a hot dog at the windmill." I remember the fun things. I remember booking bands in the '90s and at the Brighton Bar, and Jack O'Monahan was always at the door, and I don't know how many times I went down and talked to him. Sometimes you just go and hang out even when there isn't a show, which is really cool. So the author, Gregory Macolino, I've probably run into him when I was in my 20s. I'm 55 now, so he's probably in his 20s or 30s, somewhere in the. I know definitely. I went to the Brighton Bar many times when he was the owner, so that's pretty neat. And a lot of phone calls with Jacko over those years. Um, Talk about his band Dirge. I mean, there's just so many really cool ties. A lot of ties to Asbury Park and stuff like that. So very cool. You know, I love reading history books, and especially history books where I know the places. I know the names. I know a couple of the people involved, and so it was really very cool read. Again, it's a lot. There's a lot of history. I read the ebook, and it is packed. So they talk about a lot of places in that. You know. So again, going back to self promoting myself, in my Chelsea Avenue book, uh, Murphy's Law Club was a big part. Again, that was a club I was in every Monday night for the Metal Mondays thing. Anytime a metal band came through, I mean, I saw Dirty Looks there. I saw Law and Order there. I just so many friggin' bands, and then the locals, Ripping Corpse, and um, stuff like that. So it was really a very cool area to hang out with. Um, I got my first ticket on Halloween of maybe was it Halloween? I think it was Halloween 1988 maybe 89. That wasn't 89. 89 I was somewhere. 89 I was in Club Benet seeing Skid Row. Seeing Sebastian Bach with Spread Eagle. Anyway, I remember I got my first ticket coming out from there, coming out from Murphy's Law. Man, those cops were from my house in Belford down, and you had to go through, Atlantic Highlands, and you had to go through Seabright, and you had to go. Oh, man, those cops were just ready for us kids coming back and forth. So anyway, great book. Brought up a ton of memories. Brought up a lot of memories that I was like, man, I wish my dad was still here. I would love to call and tell him and read him a passage from this book, and and it got me looking through some old, going online and looking through some old pictures and different things. I'm like, what was Murphy's Law before it was Murphy's Law? Looking stuff like that up. Pictures of the haunted house, the pier, and all that. I remember, there was a club for a couple 3 years there that Jacko was doing the booking for, the door for a little bit, that we used to go and do Sunday matinee shows. Human Remains would play and a bunch of other bands like that. So a lot of fun. Great book. Brought up some great memories. Showed me how old I am now. That that I'm reading a book about history from 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. Amazing. So great book. I'm gonna give it a 4.6 out of 5. And I would love to talk to the. I would love to talk to the writer. I would love to talk to this guy and just get some more stories and pick his brain and the whole process of him since he was very young, going, I'm going to write a book about this, and then dude actually writes a book about it. So that's Jersey right there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy, and we'll go from there. So anyway, pick this book up. You should be able to grab it on anywhere you get books. Uh, like on the cover, it says, pick up a copy. You may find yourself or someone you know in its pages. I did. So perfect. Appreciate that. All right. Make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to build up this YouTube channel with some reviews of good books, reviews of good TV shows, good movies. I'm going to be doing some interviews as well. So check out the interviews with authors and whatnot. And there you go. All right. Little Pussy and Long Branch, perfect together. I guess I'm going to have to figure out the title when I put on YouTube. I don't want to get in trouble.